What's up, everybody? Steven here for Off the Shelf Movie Night to talk to you about physical media, about Blu-rays and 4Ks, and the way we like to buy and own and collect the movies that we love, TV shows, concerts, whatever you like to watch. We like to own it on physical media so that we know we have access to it whenever we want. We've paid for it. It's ours. We should be able to watch it, and we don't have to worry about it being changed or tweaked or whatever, just, to the liking of the studio that's streaming it. If you haven't liked this channel, you haven't subbed, please do so. Got a lot of things coming up. It's the holiday season. Going to do a mega Black Friday situation next week. So hit those buttons. Let's do this. So I haven't done a movie theme night in a while, and this seems like a good time. We've got 2 holidays coming up. That's right, there are 2 holidays coming up. While I know some of you are already pulling out Die Hard, it's not time. It's not time. Let's not disrespect Thanksgiving. I know there's, the reality of what Thanksgiving is based on is much different than probably what most of us were taught in school, and that is definitely a situation. But I think that Thanksgiving has been kind of a co-opted holiday. Now it's more about family and reunions and get-togethers and food and sharing and that kind of thing. And I like to think about Thanksgiving in that way. So with that in mind, I thought, what better time than to do a movie theme night, shall we? We haven't done that in a while. And if you're having family over and doing Thanksgiving, or if you're going to a Thanksgiving and you're the collector in your family and expected to bring movies and that kind of thing, and you want to do something thematic, here are my suggestions. Now, they're the obvious ones. You could do Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, of course, and that is an obvious one, and that'll be on everyone's list. So I thought I would try and do something a little more sort of alternative, kind of on theme, but not as expected, all right? These movies either literally have scenes that take place during Thanksgiving, or they thematically fit what Thanksgiving is all about. Because sometimes I think that is, I think the theme is more important than actually like the literal, ooh, this is Thanksgiving kind of thing. But there's some of both here. And we're going to start with the 1983 Lawrence Kasdan film. Lawrence Kasdan, you may know, I'm just adjusting the light here. You may know from Indiana Jones and that kind of thing. But Lawrence Kasdan is a very, was anyway, a very solid writer and creative in Hollywood. And this is his film, 1983 film, The Big Chill. This is a Criterion edition. It's very phenomenal presentation of this film. While it's not literally Thanksgiving, it has thematic elements of Thanksgiving. It has people coming together in a reunion type of situation. There is specifically a Thanksgiving flashback, which also qualifies the film, but these people are having a meal together and reminiscing about old times and reconnecting with each other. It's a bunch of college friends brought back together due to the death of a friend within their group. It's a drama. It's a comedy. It's like an emotional roller coaster ride, this film. It has a lot of humor in it. It's also very funny at times, but also it is a educational tour of 1960s and 70s R&B and rock and roll music. The soundtrack in this is one of the best soundtracks in the history of film. So, and this has a cast like you wouldn't believe. It has Tom Berenger, Jeff Goldblum, Kevin Kline, Meg Tilly. It also has Don Galloway, Mary Kay Place. So many excellent actors. Glenn Close, of course, is in this. William Hurt is here. Jo Beth Williams is also here. Maybe you may or may not know her as well, or Mary Kay Place also, because they were more icons of the 80s. But definitely impactful actors of that era. So yeah, this is a highly recommended film. If you haven't seen it, what a great time to watch it, to see it with family and friends over the holiday. And like I said, the core of this film is based around these people having a meal together. And again, there's a Thanksgiving flashback. It's a beautiful movie, incredible soundtrack to have you tapping your toes the whole time, but not loud, because don't disrupt people trying to watch a movie. And you'll laugh and you might shed a few tears also. Very, very wonderful addition here from Criterion. Okay, The next film is one that I've talked about before. I think the last time I talked about this film was in a pickups video because I was very excited to have finally been able to purchase this film from Shout Factory, and it is Jodie Foster directed Home for the Holidays. Now, this is a literal interpretation or literal part of the theming because this movie is a family, very dysfunctional family, getting back together for Thanksgiving. Again, another stellar cast here. You have Holly Hunter, you have Robert Downey Jr., you have Dylan McDermott, Anne Bancroft, let's see, Charles Durning is in this, and Geraldine Chaplin. I don't know her as well. Who's the other guy that I'm looking on the website actually, because I'm David Strahan is in this. Claire Danes is in it. Steve Guttenberg, that's the other name. I don't know. I was drawing a blank on him for some reason. Anyway, it's a stellar cast, directed by Jodie Foster. Again, this is I don't want to call it dark comedy, but it is an emotionally kind of weighty film, but I do feel it has an uplifting, kind of beautiful, subtle ending to it. And it literally is that. I don't want to get too much into it, but it's different elements of this dysfunctional family, all of them coming back together. The core pieces of it that have sent the family into an uproar is Robert Downey Jr.'s character has come out, and he came out in a way that probably, wasn't in this era in which this story is told, maybe wasn't the easiest pill to swallow. But there's that, and then Holly Hunter has been fired from her job by a boss that she was having sex with. So, yeah, not perfect people, real people. Very beautiful story. God, I just love the ending of this movie. It's so good. Very underappreciated. A decent Shout Factory release. We're going to dig around a little bit in Criterion for this, and it just kind of worked out that way, right? The next film we're going to talk about, I want to get this director's name. It is from 1996. I just want to... his name is Gary Matala. I don't know him as well. It's a 1996 film called The Day Trippers. Also a Criterion release, so you can see specifically if you want to pause and zoom in on that description, you can. But basically what happens is a young woman finds a letter the day after Thanksgiving. She finds, so we're talking Black Friday. She finds a letter that leads her to believe that her boyfriend is having an affair on her. So she shows it to her family, and they decide that it would be a great idea for the entire family to pile into a car and drive into Manhattan and confront him directly. So it becomes a fish out of water kind of comedy with this family really being out of their element in the city, trying to navigate the craziness of the city and actually find this guy. Great cast again. We've got Hope Davis in the lead role. The standout in this movie, though, there are two standouts, and it's a couple. It's Parker Posey and Liv Schreiber as her boyfriend together. They really take ownership here. Stanley Tucci is good also, and then Anne Mira is also quite great. Campbell Scott is also in the film. But it's just a really funny, kind of great light watching, just sort of a fun roller coaster ride in the city kind of fun movie with some drama and, some emotional beats in there too, because I'm assuming you have a mixed group of people that like different kinds of movies, but there's something in all of these movies for everyone. Okay? All right, so now we're going to step out of the water just a little bit here, and I'm going to talk about a movie from 1999. I'm just getting directed by Chris Smith, and it's a documentary called American Movie. I love this movie. Unfortunately, this is the only physical way to get this movie is on a DVD. It's a little bit hard to find and can be a little bit pricey. But you can, this is blasphemy. I would rather you go to eBay if you have to and buy this movie. You can buy this off Amazon. But you can also watch it on Amazon Prime. It's not part of the free Prime, but you can buy it through them. But buy the DVD. Support this filmmaker a little bit better. So basically, it's the story of these two guys trying to make a short horror film together. And it is a process that takes 10 years to make this little movie. And this documentary filmmaker follows them through that entire 10 years. One of the most iconic sequences in this movie takes place during Thanksgiving. It's a sort of a dysfunctional family, but this is real, and it's bizarre, alcohol-fueled, film-loving weirdness. If you're a lover of film, this is a documentary that you should see. As a filmmaker myself, this is my inspiration film. When I'm struggling with my own project and I just hit a wall and I'm exhausted, I watch this movie because I figure these guys took 10 years to make a movie. What am I complaining about? It took 10 years to make a short film. But anyway, really great movie. Very high point in this. One of the high points in this movie is obviously the Thanksgiving scene. So highly recommend it if you want to do a documentary and do something different with the family. All right, so the last film, this one really goes out of the box here. But if you got that kind of family, I'm here for it. I'm here for you. And it is a 2013 film by Denis Villeneuve called Prisoners. Right? Let me just get that up here in case you somehow don't know this movie. This is, kind of a craptacular release. It's all right. It's all right. It's a studio release. It's not special. Denis Villeneuve, you should know as a director. So basically, this is a film about a little girl that disappears and the detective who's brought in to try and solve the crime. I don't want to get too much more into it because if you haven't seen it, I'm not ruining this film for you. It has an incredible cast. Hugh Jackman, Viola Davis, Jake Gyllenhaal, who crushes it in this movie. Melissa Leo is in it, and she's great too. But Jake Gyllenhaal really owns this movie, and it really... Terrence Howard is good also. But Gyllenhaal, Maria Bello... Gyllenhaal really steals the show and really showed me... Paul Dano also in this movie, but he just showed me something that I don't feel that I have seen from him before. This is definitely... for the different type of family because it's not a light movie. It's a very weighty, dark movie, kind of depraved a little bit at times, So this is for the family, the edgy family, okay? The film-loving, hardcore, edgy family. If you don't know Villeneuve, I can't believe that you wouldn't, but he most recently, obviously, has directed Dune, Blade Runner 2049, Sicario, Arrival, and then Prisoners. I think Prisoners is really the movie that sort of set his career off. So if you like Dune or you like Sicario, then and you haven't seen this is a very big hole, big gap in your film, viewing history, and you should make that a priority. But again, be warned, not for the faint of heart. So that is my movie theme night suggestions. I will probably do 2 to 3 of these. I don't know which ones yet. We'll see. Let me know what you're going to watch for the holidays, and if any of these suggestions worked out great for you. Let's talk more about Thanksgiving and what we're doing for that holiday. And I'll see you guys on Black Friday. Until next we meet, pull something cool off the shelf, share it with your friends and family, and remind them why physical media is the best way to watch films on TV. I'll see you guys on the next one.